Welcome viewers to TV Box Stop. On today's video, I have a TV box that's a major contender to the N6 Max. It's got an intimidating design, and features a new cooling system, one of the first in the industry. Presenting, the Scishion AISE, Rockchip RK3399 Hexa-Core Android 4K TV box. So at first glance, what do you think? Can it really outperform the N6 Max? There's only one way to find out. Stay tuned, you have more after the break. So I'm back and thanks for waiting. Would you just look at the size of this box it comes in? From its weight alone, one can tell there's something interesting on the inside. Below the box there's a short description. All it says is that this is a smart device with the latest technology, it can perform many functions and it has dual-band Wi-Fi. To the side, it says that the model is the AISE with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. It runs on Android operating system, and it uses 5 volts 2 amps. So without further ado, I'll do a quick unboxing. The Scishion AISE runs on the Hexa-Core Rockchip RK3399 CPU running up to 1.8 GHz. The display is powered by the Mali T860 quad-core GPU with OpenGL-ES 3.1, OpenVG 1.1, OpenCL, and DirectX 11. It comes with 4 GB of DDR4 RAM and 64 GB of internal flash storage. It has dual-band 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi support, Ethernet LAN speeds of up to 100 megabits per second, and Bluetooth 4.1. My goodness. I don't know about you, but what I'm seeing here is getting me all excited. This is a first on my channel, and it immediately raises my expectations about this box. So in the box what you get is the TV box itself, and it looks and feels amazing. You get this wireless voice remote and a USB dongle. And that indicates that we have omnidirectional navigation and voice commands on this box. I give Scishion the thumbs up for including this. They included a wireless rechargeable gamepad controller, which means that this box is built for gaming, and it is also the first TV box developer bold enough to include a gamepad controller in their purchase. You get one HDMI cable, a male to female USB extension cable, a 5 volts 2 amps DC power adapter, and 2 users manual, one for the box and the other for the gamepad operation. I am about to show you the ports on this box, but in my initial observation, I was really amazed to see that they included something very innovative in its design, so pay attention. So the box is bigger than most TV boxes, and its housing is made of plastic with the Scishion logo printed to the top. To the back, you have one HDMI port, one USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0 ports, you have one RJ45 Ethernet LAN port, one optical audio port, and a DC power input. To the side, you have one USB Type-C and a microSD card reader. You have vents on the other side, and if you look carefully you can actually see the heatsink inside. To the front, you have an LED power light. And to the bottom, are you seeing this? They have included a cooling fan at the bottom to prevent overheating, and there are also lots of ventilation holes. So there's no need for external cooling fans, and this also means that the CPU can perform at higher speeds. They have also placed the reset button below here. So we'll connect this to my TV and get this thing started. So I've connected the box, and as you go through the boot up animation, you would notice that the boot process is very quick, one of the fastest I've seen in a while. So here we are at the launcher, and what you're looking at is what appears to be Android TV OS. Even though it resembles and carries some of the functions of Android TV, this is not an official version. The operating system is actually Android 7.1, which leaves a sour taste in my mouth, seeing that TV boxes have gone way past Android 7 for some time now. So to the developers of Scishion, if you're watching this, you know a firmware update is needed urgently. Another thing I am not a fan of, is the absence of a navigation and notifications bar for multitasking. For some people who love to use a mouse to navigate the launcher, this is a big issue, and can be the tipping point between buying a TV box or not. So Scishion, take note, and release a firmware update. On this launcher there's no apps section. Any app you install will show up on this horizontal panel. So what you are seeing is all that comes pre-installed on the box, and I will be testing some of these in a minute. To try to make things easier, I will attempt to install the Nova launcher along with all the apps needed to complete this review. So I'm back, and as you can see the launcher looks much better. I installed the Nova launcher, Virtual Softkeys navigation bar, and the Snowball notifications bar. Links to these apps can be found in the description area. So I have installed all my apps, and I'll first check to see if the box is rooted. It shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 7.1 Nougat operating system. Please note, even though the box is rooted, the Google Play Store has all the restrictions of Android TV, which means that some of your apps will have to be sideloaded. I will now show its DRM information. This box doesn't have any Google Widevine support, which is needed for Netflix to show in HD and 4K quality. Netflix will play but only in standard quality. Let's take a look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is Rockchip, and the model is the AISE. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, and this is the remainder of the storage after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, indicating that the Bluetooth version is 4.1. The CPU is a hexa-core 64-bit CPU consisting of 2 cores. A quad-core Cortex-A53, clocked at 1.4 GHz, and a dual-core Cortex-A72 at 1.8 GHz, totaling 6 cores at a max frequency of 1.8 GHz. Below here it shows the box has support for 32 and 64-bit ABIs, allowing it to run both types of applications. The GPU is the quad-core Mali T860 graphics processor, with a refresh rate of 117 Hz and OpenGLES version 3.2, which is ideal for playing Android games with higher graphics, and 4K video playback. Under network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 7.1.2 Nougat, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs between 30 to 55 degrees Celsius under normal room temperature, and this can rise up to 60 degrees under heavy activity. There is no need for passive cooling since this box has its own cooling fan. This is actually pretty cool for a TV box running on a Rockchip hexa-core CPU, and the new Scishion housing design is responsible for this low result. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos like HEVC, H.264 and VP9 decoding, and a couple of others all needed for 4K video playback. And that's it for system and hardware information, and now let's see what you can do on this box. I will start with Netflix. As we saw a second ago, the box has no Google Widevine support. From a movie description, here you can see that there's no HD icon to indicate that it plays in HD, so this means that Netflix will only play in standard quality. Next I will play an 8K YouTube video sample to see what's the highest quality we can get. This box can run the both versions of YouTube at the same time. The Android TV version can play up to 4K quality, and the regular version plays up to 1080p. I will now run some 4K video samples. Now this box is starting to confuse me a bit. It played the more difficult videos quite well, and the easier videos had some difficulty. There was even no audio in one of the videos. These are all signs of poor firmware optimization. The Scishion AI SE comes with a voice remote control and a gamepad controller, which is good. So I will do a voice search to see if it works. Okay Google, what's the latest news? Okay Google, open YouTube.
Opening YouTube for Android TV.
Okay Google, open Google Chrome.
Opening Google Chrome, fast and secure.
Well, that works okay, but remember this is not the full version of Android TV. As mentioned earlier, this box comes with a gamepad controller that connects to the box via Bluetooth, which is very simple, by pressing and holding the power button on the gamepad until it keeps blinking, and then clicking connect in the Bluetooth settings on the box. So I have already charged this gamepad, and I will now play a couple of Android games to test its 3D performance.
It's the start now of the second half. Good position. They've worked this attack very well into it's a chance! Got to be! Oh, fantastic goal!
The games ran really well and was of a high quality, something always expected from an RK3399 box. So it's now time for some benchmarks. And for these benchmarks I will be comparing them to the scores of the Magic CN6 Max TV box, since it carries the same hardware and is the best match for this box. First I will show the results of the A1 SD Bench app, that measures RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The results show that the Scishion AI SE has a RAM copy speed of 8,177 megabytes per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 144 megabytes per second and a write speed of 100. These scores show that the RAM copy speed is just slightly higher than the Magic CN6 Max by 74 points, and the internal storage speed fell slightly lower by 35 points. Next I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed results. These tests here are from the 5.8 GHz band, these here are from the 2.4 band, and these here are from the Ethernet LAN port. The results show that on the 5.8 GHz band and on the Ethernet LAN port, the box hit the maximum speed of my internet package. The 2.4 GHz band however fell below by 40%. When compared to the Magic CN6 Max, the N6 Max had maximum speeds on all bands and LAN port. I now show the results of the Antutu benchmark. The results show that the box got a score of 104,434. When compared to the N6 Max, the SEAI scored higher by 4,000 points. Next I have the results of the Geekbenck 4 CPU benchmark. The results show that the box got a score of 1,259 single-core and 2,941 multi-core. When compared to the N6 Max, the score is slightly higher by 4%. And finally I have the scores of the Ice Storm Extreme and the Sling Shot 3D Mark GPU test. The results show that the box got a score of 9,220 in the Ice Storm Extreme and 888 in the Sling Shot test. These two scores are higher by 11% when compared to the N6 Max. So in summary, the Scishion AI SE has a whole lot of power and features consistent with any other RK3399 box. The benchmark scores are slightly higher than the N6 Max in most areas, and lower in one test, which is good news for the hardware, along with its unique design, including a cooling fan, the inclusion of a voice remote and gamepad controller, and all the latest peripherals money can buy. However, I believe Scission's development team dropped the ball in their design of their firmware. By trying to use an Android TV skin and features, the firmware is buggy, difficult to navigate with a mouse, has no DRM support, has lots of app restrictions in the Play Store, has difficulty playing some 4K videos at 60 frames per second, and the launcher has no navigation and notifications bar. In my opinion, the hardware and design is better than the N6 Max, but the N6 Max is still the better box until Scishion does a complete overhaul of this firmware and use a full version of Android instead. So the AI SE did not satisfy my very high expectations I had for this box in the beginning. Well viewers, there you have it. This was a review of the Scishion AI SE Android 4K TV box. If you are interested in this box, links were placed in the description area directly below this video and on my website where you can get it at the lowest price online. Thanks for watching my video. If you like to help grow my channel, be sure to share it on social media platforms, and to be notified when the next great TV box review is released, hit the subscribe button and the little notifications bell for more TV box stop videos.